Okay, well, happy Friday and all that good stuff. Oakland plays today in Kentucky, so good luck to them. I'll be watching that on Stork Vision. Um, but, oh my goodness, yesterday's slate of college football was terrible. It was terrible. Now, when I say it was terrible, no, it was actually pretty good. I don't have any complaints ever about football, but what I saw displayed yesterday by the teams that are supposed to, look a lot better against inferior opponents was just no. And look, we play the games for a reason because you never know what's going to happen. You can't rule out an upset or a crazy game every now and then or this and that, but no. And I understand it's week 1. It's the first real week of the season. But we can't sit here and think, oh, yeah, it's fine when you have so many, big powerhouses, I guess you could say, struggling against the little schools. It'd be different if it was like one or two people. It was almost every Power 4 school that played yesterday. They all looked terrible. And now some of them played against other Power 4 schools. Okay, cool. But, yesterday I was just so baffled by what was happening. Like, it was almost hilarious. Um, Now, one thing I will have to say is, unfortunately, and fortunately, both. Obviously, I'm happy I got a job, but it's going to be at the expense of Tennessee. So tomorrow I got to work from 8 to 2. Tennessee plays at 12, so I might be able to get home in time to see the end of it or something. We'll see, but so there's some news there in Oakland plays, so that's that there. But oh my gosh, we got to talk about what happened yesterday. I have some notes here, so let's go ahead and get this started. We're going to start with the Boise State South Florida game. Oh my goodness. It was a really good game in the first half. South Florida came out and played a lot better than people thought they would. Now, we can't forget that a couple seasons ago, South Florida almost beat Alabama, and back in the early 2010s, South Florida would be ranked from time to time. So, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to sit here hyping up South Florida, but South Florida's not one of those teams where you can just overlook and be like, oh no, I'm not Nah. Yesterday showed exactly why. Number 25th ranked Boise State went into South Florida and got their asses whooped. But what's crazy is on paper, both teams were dead even. Boise State offensively just cannot do anything. And once your offense can't do anything, that makes your defense very tired because your offense can't stay on the field. Your defense gets more playing time, and the opposing offense takes advantage of that. And that's kind of what happened yesterday with South Florida. I have a few things here I wrote about the game. So Boise State, for the first time since 2005, went scoreless in quarter 2, 3, and 4. They scored 7 points in the first quarter, and from there didn't score anything. The final score in this one was 34-7 South Florida. It was just, I don't know. Without Ashton Genty, Boise State, they don't know what they're doing, and it's very obvious. I think we're in for a potential uprising in South Florida, and I don't mean they're going to make the playoffs or anything, but maybe instead of that 7-5, 6-6, 5-7, maybe they go 8-4, or maybe something like that. They have a tough 2 next games. They play at the Swamp and then at Miami, but after that, South Florida might be able to manage a solid season. So, congratulations to South Florida. That was a good game by you guys yesterday, but Boise State, you guys are in it for a down year. You guys just buckle up and get ready. It's not going to look pretty this season. So, yeah, on to the next game. Ohio and Rutgers. What the hell? Obviously, Rutgers is probably one of the least talked about Power 4 teams, and Ohio's in the MAC, so whoopity freaking do. But I looked yesterday and I saw that the final was 34-31 Rutgers. And like I just said, Rutgers isn't really talked about that much. They're in the Big Ten, though. And you're playing a MAC school, and you only won by 3, but not only that, you allowed them to score 31 points! Damn! Oh my god. Rutgers is not going to have a good year. Ohio, honestly, for them, that's pretty impressive. Rutgers, oh my god, no. No. And I don't know why I'm surprised, because it's Rutgers. But You should not be playing like that against a MAC school. What are you doing, dude? I mean, even on paper, if you look, Ohio played better offensively and defensively by the numbers. I mean, what's going on with Rutgers? I see, and I can't sit here and say, oh, well, Ohio should have won, because Rutgers still had an advantage. I mean, at halftime, I think it was like 31-17, but somehow, some way, Ohio still played better. They did lose and Rutgers won, but that I just don't understand how you play a MAC school and beat them by 3, but in the same time you allowed 31 points to it. I don't know. So that was the final there. Moving on to the next one, Wyoming and Akron. Final there was 10-0. At halftime, yeah. They didn't even get okay. In the first 3 quarters, there was a field goal kicked by Wyoming, and that was it. Like, that game was terrible yesterday. Oh my gosh. Wyoming wins 10-0. All I can really say, I just wanted to, you can't really say much about that game. That's just funny. So, yeah, Wyoming beats Akron 10-0, and more MLB teams scored, more than 10 points yesterday than they did. So, yeah. Moving on to East Carolina, NC State. The final there was 24-17, NC State. What in the hell is wrong with NC State? About 2-3 seasons ago, you guys were beating Clemson and winning 8-9 games, and now you can barely beat East Carolina. And I'm not, dogging East Carolina or anything. They're pretty respected in their conference, but NC State is dog shit. What are you doing? I mean, it took a late interception to prevent East Carolina from tying it. They were at like the 9-yard line, first and goal or whatever, close to goal to go range. And it took a game-sealing interception by NC State just to win. I mean, you won, but oh my God, dude. I think Tennessee started your downfall last season when we beat you so silly that you couldn't even get up and go back to North Carolina. Oh, wait, that's right. We were in North Carolina, weren't we? Well, then you could barely find your way home in the damn state you're in. That's crazy. But, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with NC State, but that was the final there. That is... Anyway, moving on. Speaking of teams that don't know what the hell they're doing, Jacksonville State, UCF. The final there was 17-10, UCF. The UCF sucks. Jacksonville State is actually really good in the CUSA. They're probably my pick to win the conference potentially this year. Maybe them or Western Kentucky, but that's aside of the point. It was 0-0 at halftime. And I'm not dogging Jacksonville State. I'm dogging UCF. What the hell are you doing? Oh my God. That game was 0-0 for so long, and it took some garbage can points by both teams to make it look like a first half score or something. But there is no reason why you should have only won 17-10. Terrible football by UCF yesterday. That's all I can say there. And speaking of terrible football and garbage can points late, Minnesota beat Buffalo 23-10. Now, before you're like, oh, well, they won. It's Buffalo. Minnesota's in the Big Ten. They should be beating them like 56-0 or something. No offense, Buffalo. But what in the hell? Dude, it was 3-0 at the half. 10-0 entering the fourth quarter. Both in favor of Minnesota, but damn. I mean, at one time, I think it was tied 10-10. Buffalo scored 10 unanswered. Minnesota lucked up. They scored some late garbage can points in the fourth quarter. Buffalo, I mean, they played a good game, considering everything. That was ridiculous. So, Minnesota, you suck. I'm sorry, but, all the teams on here that I've named in the Power 4 that, got away with one, all of you suck. Don't celebrate your win. Anyway, moving on to teams that shouldn't celebrate their win. Wisconsin goes into that category too. They beat Miami, Ohio 17-0, bro. Oh my freaking God. Oh my God. I just... Much like the Minnesota game, Wisconsin, it falls right into that category, Big Ten team. I might have even gotten some of the stats mixed up between Minnesota and Wisconsin because of how dog shit they both were. So I do apologize if I might have gotten the stats mixed up, but bottom line, they're so similar in dog shit play that the stats look a lot alike. Wisconsin wins 17-0. Whoopity can do. And finally, probably the best game of the day yesterday, Nebraska and Cincinnati. Nebraska won 20-17. All credit to Cincinnati. I think they looked better than I thought they would. They played pretty good. But it's either Cincinnati's going to be a lot better than we thought, or Nebraska's going to be a hell of a lot worse than a lot of other people thought. I do not understand the hype around Nebraska. People, I've seen people say they're going to the playoffs. I've seen this and that, blah, blah, blah. Dude, their quarterback is so into himself trying to be another Patrick Mahomes. How can you win with a guy who's trying to be somebody else? I don't understand that. Dylan Raiola is a damn joke. I'm sorry. Georgia, I'm glad you guys didn't get him because I would hate to have to, oh my God, see him in the SEC. You stay your ass in the Big Ten. Yeah, no. Nebraska, that's ridiculous. I mean, yeah, you won 20-17, game-winning interception, just like a lot of these other poverty-ass schools. At least for you guys, you played a team people might actually know something about. Cincinnati. Damn. All I'm going to say about that game, stop hyping Nebraska up. Stop it. Just stop. No. So yeah, my reaction on you dog shit ass people yesterday that just looked terrible. Terrible. Oh, but we still won the game. Yeah, but you look like dog shit. Wait until you start playing your conference schedule. You guys are going to get your asses handed to you. Team of the day yesterday, South Florida. I'll see you guys whenever I can make another video because I got to go to bed early tonight and go to work. But I'll try to make, more videos like this. But damn, that's all I have to say. I'll see you guys.